curious, like how do you fit into developing
Yeah,
a system?
yeah. So, actually, a lot of when I first started, it was kind of so we had a bunch of DNA methylation data. So the company that I work for, we have a commercial test where we actually are able to quantify the DNA methylation of those individuals, and so through that, we've actually amassed a ton of data
Mm,
through that. And so when I started, really looking at the data itself and then being able to generate just what we call this an elastic net regression model, which is very similar to a linear regression model, except you can use a resampling to minimize the error of that linear regression. And what that allows us to do then is, or sorry, this technique has already been utilized in previously, but the really cool thing is that by having all the data that we had about, I think, upwards of 10,000, sorry, at that time, it was upwards of 5,000 individuals, all collected in the same lab, which actually is great because then we know exactly what's being done in terms of the collection. And then on top of that, I can always go back to my counterpart in the lab who ask, hey, some of these samples came out to report very different methylation marks. Was there an issue with sample preparation? And so quality checks are very important, and I take care of a lot of that as well. And so
interesting.
yeah, so really, I start with the raw data. I do a lot of the quality checks, making sure that they're properly normalized to each other so that you actually can compare apples to apples rather than apples to oranges. And then
Mhm.
if there are any cases of, let's say, batch effects, meaning, you know, a lot of these samples are collected throughout a long time, and so on any given day, maybe the temperature in the lab was a little high, or there was kind of a minuscule error in the machine that caused those readings to be a little bit different. There are statistical methods to actually correct for those, and so I'll do a lot of that QA/QC, and so just so that the output of those normalized batch corrected values are truly uh, essentially cleaned so that
Mhm.
the model doesn't pick up artifacts of that unclean data.